Imagine building a bridge, not with steel and concrete, but with handshakes, ideas, and a shared dream. That's exactly what a special group of people is doing right now. A delegation of 12 leaders from the United States, calling themselves the Friends of President Traoré in the West, has traveled all the way to Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso. This isn't a vacation, it's a journey with a powerful purpose. Welcome to Traoré, Africa. They have come to show their support for the country's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and to connect with the people of this West African nation. Their arrival marks a very important moment, a signal that families separated by oceans for centuries is finally coming back together to talk, to listen, and to plan for a better future. This group is made up of African Americans, people whose ancestors were taken from Africa long ago. Now, they are returning as friends and partners. The delegation is a coalition, which is like a team made up of smaller teams. It includes representatives from several important organizations based in the United States. You have members from the Black Panther movement, the Afro-descendant nation, and Black Lawyers for Justice, just to name a few. Each of these groups works to fight for fairness, human rights, and empowerment for Black people in America. By coming together for this trip, they are showing that their fight for justice isn't just for one country, but for Black people all over the world, especially on the African continent. Among the leaders on this historic trip are some very dedicated individuals. People like attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz from the Black Panther movement and attorney Harriet Abubakar from the Afro-descendant nation are leading the way. They are joined by longtime activists and organizers like Moja Ajabu and Mukasa Ricks, who have spent their entire lives working for Pan-African unity. Pan-Africanism is the idea that all people of African descent, whether they live in Africa, America, Europe, or anywhere else, are one big family and should work together. These leaders believe that by joining hands with their brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso, they can create a stronger, more united global Black community. The main reason for their visit is to build a strong and lasting friendship. It's about more than just saying hello. They are there to express solidarity with President Traoré and the path he is carving for his country. For them, this journey is a way of reaching across the Atlantic Ocean to say, we see you, we support you, and we want to be part of the new story you are writing. This connection is deeply personal and historic. It's a powerful statement that the bonds of family and heritage can't be broken by distance or time. They are here to mend old wounds and build a brand new bridge of cooperation and understanding that will last for generations to come. The Friends of President Traoré in the West have a clear and important mission with three main parts. First, they are on a fact-finding journey. This means they want to see and understand the real situation in Burkina Faso for themselves, beyond what they might read in the news. They want to listen directly to the Burkinabe people to learn about their daily lives, their challenges, and their hopes for the future. Second, they are there to practice diplomacy. This involves building positive relationships with government officials and community leaders. The goal is to open up a clear line of communication. Finally, they aim to foster collaboration, which is just a fancy word for working together on projects that can help everyone. At the heart of their mission are some very big and important ideas. Their core message is all about self-determination. This is the right of a country and its people to choose their own destiny, make their own decisions, and control their own resources without outside interference. They are also advocating for global reparatory justice. This is the idea that the harms caused by centuries of slavery and colonialism should be repaired, and they are pushing for economic cooperation. They believe that by sharing knowledge and creating opportunities for trade and education between African Americans and Africans, they can build a stronger economic foundation for everyone involved. These principles guide every meeting they have and every plan they make. To achieve these ambitious goals, the delegation has a busy schedule. They are planning to meet with many different people, from high-level government officials in Burkina Faso to leaders from neighboring countries in the Sahel Alliance. They hope to even sit down with President Traoré himself to share their message of support directly. But their plans go beyond just meetings. They are exploring the idea of setting up a permanent diplomatic mission in Ouagadougou. This would be like an embassy or a dedicated office, a physical symbol of their long-term commitment. It would be a place where they can continue their work and build even deeper connections year after year. This visit is about creating something that will last. It's not just a one-time event, it's the beginning of a long-term partnership. The delegation sees this as planting a seed. They are laying the groundwork for future projects in business, technology, and education. Imagine exchange programs where students from Burkina Faso could study in the United States, and African American students could learn in Africa. Think about new trade routes that benefit communities on both continents. By being there in person, listening to the needs of the people, and making concrete plans, these leaders are showing that they are serious about building a real, tangible, and mutually beneficial relationship for the long haul. To understand why this visit is happening now, you have to look at the big changes sweeping across Africa, especially in the region where Burkina Faso is located. For a long time, many African countries had very close ties with their former colonial rulers, like France. However, a new generation of leaders and citizens is saying it's time for a change. They want to be fully in charge of their own security and their own future. In a bold move, Burkina Faso, along with its neighbors Mali and Niger, decided to cut military ties with France and asked French soldiers to leave their land. This was a huge step toward true independence. This desire for self-reliance has led to new partnerships. Instead of looking only to the west, these countries are forming alliances closer to home. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have created their own group called the Alliance of Sahel States. This alliance is focused on working together to solve their own problems, especially security challenges, using African-led solutions. They have also decided to leave a larger regional group called ECOWAS because they felt it was no longer serving their best interests. These decisions show a powerful shift. These nations are drawing a line in the sand and declaring that they will forge their own path, making decisions that are best for their own people. This new direction is not just about security, it's also about a new way of thinking. Leaders like Captain Traoré are part of a movement that emphasizes Pan-Africanism and sovereignty. Sovereignty means having the full right and power to govern your own country without any outside control. This message has become very popular, especially among young people who are tired of poverty and instability, which they see as being linked to the old systems of foreign influence. They are inspired by the idea of a strong, united Africa that can stand on its own 2 feet and command respect on the world stage. This is the exciting and transformative environment that the Friends of President Traoré have stepped into. So when the delegation from America arrives with a message of Pan-African unity and support for self-determination, it fits perfectly with the changes already happening. It's like 2 pieces of a puzzle clicking into place. The leaders in Burkina Faso are looking for new friends and partners who respect their sovereignty, and the African American delegation is looking for a way to reconnect with their ancestral homeland and support its rise. This meeting is not a coincidence. It is a sign of the times. It shows that the call for a new, more independent Africa is being heard not just on the continent, but all the way across the ocean. The delegation's visit is set to conclude with a very special and symbolic event. On July 4, 2025, a date traditionally celebrated as Independence Day in the United States, they will host an event called Black Independence Day in Ouagadougou. This is a powerful reimagining of the holiday. Instead of just celebrating America's independence, this event will be a declaration of independence from a different kind of control, the system of neo-colonialism. Neo-colonialism is the idea that even after countries become officially independent, more powerful nations still control them through money, business, and politics. This event is a bold statement that this era must end. This Black Independence Day will be a gathering of minds and spirits. At least 50 delegates are expected to come together, not just from the United States and Burkina Faso, but from the global Black community. Their collective voice will call for several major goals. They will advocate for the creation of a United States of Africa, a long-held dream of Pan-African leaders for a continent that is politically and economically united, much like the United States of America. They will also make a powerful demand for full reparations, arguing that the wealth stolen through slavery and colonialism must be returned to help heal and rebuild Afro-descendant communities around the world. The importance of building these connections between African Americans and Africans cannot be overstated. For centuries, these 2 groups were forcibly separated and taught to see each other as different. This visit helps to heal that division. This is Adore Africa. Thanks for watching. When African Americans see strong, independent African nations taking control of their destiny, it can be a source of immense pride and inspiration. And when Africans see their diaspora family returning with skills, resources, and a desire to help, it strengthens their resolve. Together, they form a powerful global network that can support each other, share knowledge, and advocate for justice on the world stage. Ultimately, this journey is about building a shared future. The challenges facing Black people globally, from economic inequality to systemic injustice, are interconnected. The solutions, therefore, must also be connected. By creating these new bridges of friendship, diplomacy, and cooperation, groups like the Friends of President Traoré are helping to build a future where all people of African descent can thrive. Their visit to Burkina Faso is more than just a trip. It is a powerful example of what is possible when family, separated by history, decides to come together to write a new chapter of unity, strength, and true independence for all.